No,
How you doing? I'm John.
Josh, he's going to be starting up with us, like I mentioned to you, pretty much immediately. No?
You are. All right, congratulations. That's good stuff. I want to just, if you can take that sheet, what I want to kind of go over with you, being that you're going to be new, the most important thing is to identify what the job is. What the job is and what it's expected of you to do. And again, I don't set policy in your company. You know, you do what you need to do. I'm just going to tell you what my company feels that the most effective way a business development appointment setter should work.
Okay. And the reason, pardon me, I brought you here is because I sat with him for an hour early on, a couple days back, and I like what he has to offer. I like his process, and seeing that you're coming into this position, what better opportunity than get it from, again, like he said, suggestion, not policy, but I like what he has set up. So this is good for you to...
Right.
Okay.
The first thing you got to think about, contact. You got to know that when you receive a lead from a consumer, that consumer is not only sending that request to this dealership, Mazda of North Miami, him or her is sending it to 5 or 6 or 7 different car dealerships.
If you need.
So now the game is contact, and the contact is immediate because it is over after 48 to 72 hours. That customer, that potential car buyer, has engaged with somebody and is interacting with them right now.
Sure.
So now, having said that, unless that person that they interacted with first disappoints the car buyer, lies to the car buyer, or says something to the car buyer off color, or just turn the car buyer off, they're not going to leave the relationship until that happens. So, you still have to try to contact the customer, however, the first 48 to 72 hours is critical. So we have to make sure that we understand that contact is the game, and an email is not contact.
Right.
An email response is not contact, because we got to talk to the customer. Then we could find out how to react or what plan we're going to come across, and how to attract that customer to us once we talk to them. Because again, they're going to be solicited by 7 or 8 different people. It's like an island with 500 men and one woman. Who's going to marry that one woman? Who's going to, or vice versa? 500 women and one man. Who is going to get that relationship going? So you have to be fierce, I call it. Fierce is just, you're going to contact that customer, and you're going to come up with a plan to contact that customer again and again and again and again till you break through and speak to them. And then once you contact that customer, it's our job to extract their motive behind their idea of buying a car. You know what that means? I'm going to tell you. Why are they in the car market? What happened in their life? What transpired in their life to put them in the car market is important. Because once you uncover that motive, right, you could help your staff by putting copious notes in your CRM, leaving them a roadmap. Mr. Jones is looking for a Ford Explorer. The reason he's in the market is because he just totaled his car. He's driving a rent-a-car right now, Enterprise. He's paying $30 a day, right? He needs to get a car as soon as possible because he's tired of driving his wife around. That's a good note, because if I'm a desk man and I see that note in there, I know the guy's in a rent-a-car. It's a hot lead. I know that he is interested in getting a vehicle right away. So I identified that customer. You gave me the motive, right? So you have to put that in your notes, right? Also, the question you ask somebody, the key to everything, what are you driving now? What are you driving now? That opens up the door, because now a discussion takes place. Bear in mind, somebody's sending you a lead asking you for information about a particular vehicle, right? And you're going to give them that information. But understand this, 88% of the time, that customer who put that lead in for that particular vehicle doesn't buy that vehicle. So that tells you you have to get the customer down to the dealership with the possibility of buying a car for the best price, the lowest payment. We have the highest quality of service. We have the biggest selection.
Right.
You have to get that customer down here with all those things in mind, not necessarily locked into one particular car, one particular price, because it's not going to happen anyway. He's going to bounce and go buy something else.
Right.
So the idea of the savings, nobody's going to sell you a car cheaper than us in the state of Florida. Nobody is going to give you more money. In fact, we're giving over fair market value for trade-ins today. We have a appraiser on the property, and his sole purpose is to give you enough money for your car that you feel comfortable trading it in. So these are words and these are word tracks that we like you to learn so you could translate that to the consumer. And it's all the idea of, not so much the of, it's the idea of you're creating a safe harbor atmosphere so the customer's comfortable coming in to see you.
Yeah.
For whatever they buy.
Yeah.
So what are you driving? If I'm speaking to a lead on the phone, it's your job to turn that lead into a car buyer. Okay, a lot of people in the BDCs just want to make the appointment. I say spend 5 more minutes with the customer and make a profitable, complete car buyer come down to your showroom.
Right.
Not just an appointment. Appointments that we know we're going to get the appointment, but we want to extract enough information from the customer. We turn them into what? A car buyer.
Potential car buyer, yeah.
No, a car buyer. That's what we want to say.
Okay.
So, I'm speaking to you about a Mazda 6 that you inquired about, and you're telling me what you're looking for and your wants, wishes, and needs, and I absorb all that, and my next question is, hey, what is it you're driving now? And you'll proceed to tell me I'm driving a 2004 Mazda 6 or 2005 Mazda 6. Then you'll proceed to ask the question, how many miles does it have on it? It has 109,000 miles on it. And then you proceed to say, hey man, what kind of condition is it in? And he's going to tell you it's in good condition. Was it ever in an accident? No? Okay. How much money do you owe? Do you owe any money on that thing still? Yeah, you owe $5,000 to who? Who do you owe that money to? What bank you financing that with? I'm financing with Chase. And what was your payments? $520. Okay, so here's what you got. Just by asking him a question, what are you driving now? You got all this information from him. It's a car with 109,000 miles on it. What's that tell you? He's got to get a new car. He's paying $520 a month. What's that tell you? His capability of what he could pay.
Of course.
And $100 over that. Okay? Not only is it $520, but however, if this guy is paying $520 for a 2005 Mazda 6, what's he going to pay for a 2015 or 14? So now you're writing all this stuff down, typing it all in your CRM. This guy's got a Mazda 6, 2005. It's 109,000 miles on it. He owes Chase $5,000, and he's paying $520 a month. Don't you think your desk man would want that information right off the bat as soon as that guy walks in? Because here's what happens. This gentleman comes in. What's your name?
Josh.
Josh. So you're my customer. Josh comes into the dealership, meets me. I go out there and shake your hand. I give you a bottle of water, direct you to the popcorn machine. Hey, Josh, give me 1 minute. I just want to have a conversation with my manager, and I'll be right with you, okay? Have a seat. Here's a bottle of water. Here's popcorn. I'll be right with you. Now, I'm going to go up to my front desk manager, and I'm going to tell him Josh is here for his appointment. So my sharp desk man is going to go in his CRM, Josh, and he's going to get the profile that I created. Here he is. He's looking for a Mazda 6, new. The reason he needs the car because his wife, right, got in an accident with her car. He's driving around a rent-a-car right now. Needs to get Enterprise, right? And we need to send that back to Enterprise. He's driving a 2005 Mazda 6 with 109,000 miles on it. He's paying $520 a month, and he owes $5,000 to Chase. So I know that information before I even said one word to this guy about the deal. Now, that's huge because that saves about 45 minutes from the car process. So you don't have to run around and ask these questions.
Right.
They're already accounted for. So what that does for you is your manager will direct you. Now maybe he would say, all right, let's go get this car looked at because he still owes $5,000. It's got 109,000 miles on it. Let's make sure the car is what it is. Let's also get a credit app on this gentleman because it's 2005. 9 years without a new car.
Right.
He might have a credit issue. So now a sharp desk man will go, okay, do these two things. Guy's still eating his popcorn in your showroom, drinking his water. You walk around this trade, come on, let me show you the trade. And then you get a credit application. And you build the deal around that. Notice what I didn't talk about anymore. Price, Mazda 6, because there's a lot of factors when you sell cars today. And the factors are customer's credit, money down, are they financing, are they leasing? This straight price idea of race to the bottom selling is what's going on at car dealers. And they're giving customers prices and they're focusing on the prices and they're constantly focused. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Because unless that customer is buying the car cash, and I'm talking about cash, out of their bank account. I'm not talking about a credit union loan. It doesn't matter. We have to build the deal, right? And that's what we're trying to do when our BDCs across the country start learning how to ask a customer questions and not so much deliver. You'll sell the same amount of cars. However, you'll have a more profitable car buyer coming to your dealership because it's the same buyer. We're just working it different.
Right.
It's the same guy. Our approach at, Mazda of North Miami is different now. We want to be able to, I call it inside out selling, extract information, provide our managers with information so we could find that profit. Instead of just, let me give him a price and hope he comes down here. So, if you give a guy a price over the phone, and I had a discussion with these other guys before, here's what we do here now. If a guy lives in Lauderdale, and Gunther is our competition in Lauderdale, we're going to give that guy the same price we would give a guy who lived here in Hollywood. Why? Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense because Gunther is right there. This customer went to Gunther already. So the reason they're calling us is to do what? Keep Gunther honest.
Right.
So are we going to give this guy the same price that we gave a guy that lived right here across the street? If we have to, we're not going to give the guy the price across the street. We're going to try to get him in here with the idea of, we have a policy here over at Mazda of North Miami. We're not going to be undersold by anybody in this state. So let's get a couple things straight, Josh. I'm not going to be able to let you know anything other than we're going to sell you this car for less money than anybody in the state. As far as your trade-in, nobody's going to give you more money. In fact, we're giving over fair market value for trade-ins this weekend. So nobody's going to give you more money on your trade. What time today, this afternoon or this evening, could you get in here? What time today can you get in here? This afternoon or this evening? What time today can you get in here? This afternoon or this evening? It's never, when would you like to come in? Would you like to come in this weekend? Well, everybody would like to come in this weekend. So for that guy that we're talking to, we want to make sure that we create some sort of urgency so he can get here now, today.
Right.
And we have to be able to ask the question, when would you like to come down? This morning, this afternoon, or this evening. And there's reasons for that, which we'll get into deeper into our training class. But the idea of just bringing somebody down and giving them a price, quite frankly, we don't need you for that. We could just have, anybody just say, yeah, here's a price, and we want to bring customers in profitable, prepared, and ready to buy cars. And how we do that is working.
Right.
Not just answering the phone and giving some information and going on to the next customer. But it all starts, as I said at the beginning, with contact. We must contact the customer before those other 500 guys looking to hook up with that one woman, or those 500 women looking to hook up with that one guy. Everybody's nipping at their heels. So not only do we have to get a hold of the customer first, we better make sure we're on our game, or they're going to bounce on us because they got other people soliciting them still. These other 500 guys ain't going away, these 499 guys. You know, you got the first date. However, you know, you make a mistake, they're going to grab your customer from you. So it's about protecting, getting contact and protecting your customer. So how you do that is get them down here quicker. Mm-hmm. Human contact is the key. A lot of people in your business like to email. You know, I can't tell you the last time I opened up an email. But if you do email somebody, email from the subject line. What that means is treat it as a text. Josh, you're still in the market for a car. This is John from Mazda. Put your phone number. Please call me. From the subject line. So when they open up their mailbox, they see it on the right-hand side. Right. Because people are definitely reluctant to open up their mail because they don't want to open up attachments. Right. So that's a smart way of communicating and getting to the point with a customer right away. Texting is a must. Calling a customer 3-4 times. If you wanted something, Josh, and I'm sure in life you did, and it was about getting a hold of somebody to get it, how fierce were you to get it?
There's persistence needed. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. You got to be persistent in whatever it is that you're trying to pursue.
Persistently fierce is what you have to be, because, you know, again, just equate it to something you wanted to purchase in life, how quick and how furious you were to contact and achieve that goal. Right. Adopt that same philosophy with your customers, because you're going to need to, because it's a very competitive market out there.
Right.
So now we got all that stuff here, and you think about a couple other things when it comes down to price. You know, Josh, we're never going to let price get between you and I. Write that down, Josh. You know, we're never going to let price get between you and I. Now, when you say that to somebody, right, that means what exactly it says. We're not going to let price, we're not going to be undersold by anybody. You know, we're not going to let trade-in value get between you and I. We're going to be the highest trade-in value, we're going to be the lowest price, and we got the highest level of service. So what time is it you get down here this afternoon or this evening to get your purchase done? And it's not look at cars, it's not test drive a car, it's buy a car, right. Purchase a car. What time today can you get down here to complete your purchase? Right? So that's what you got to stress. It's all about now. So we want to get our competition, we want to beat them to the punch and get this customer in the books and get it over with, satisfy them, and move on to another car buyer. That's what we want to do when it comes down to contact. When you have a customer that is really crushing you with price, Josh, I'm not coming down to you, give me a firm number, I want to do this over the phone. You get your manager for that. You can't fight that battle.
Right.
You know, some people, 1 out of 10, will really beat the heck out of you for price. That's why you got a manager. Get him involved. Call me. Hey, Javier, come here. I need your help. This customer's unruly. Could you talk to him? Right? Could you talk to him and try to get him down here? Because that's what the game is. Mm-hmm. Getting him down here profitable, prepared, and ready to buy a car. Getting your customers down here profitable, prepared, and ready to buy a car today. That's what we do. The reason we need it to be today is because the manufacturer has offers, programs, and incentives that are subject to cancel at any time. So what is in play today, Josh, may not be in play tomorrow. So that creates urgency. This dealership has a very aggressive plan today and a sale day today. So you're going to get additional savings today that may not be there tomorrow. As far as a customer with a trade-in, we also have a process in place today where we are going to give all our customers over fair market value for their vehicle. So we want to have your vehicle inspected by one of our national appraisers to get you top dollar for your car, over fair market value. So I ask you again, Josh, having said all this, what time today, this afternoon or this evening, could you get down here to buy a car? and we are talking about buy a car. And if he says no to you, I can't make it down here, blah, blah, blah. Hey, let me ask you, Josh, what do I have to do to make you feel comfortable enough to come down here for an appointment and try to buy a car? Now, you ask somebody, what do I have to do to make you feel comfortable enough to come down here to purchase a vehicle from us? That requires a response. And that requires a response that takes some thought from the customer. So most times they'll flip and say, I'll be down here. Because if you're going to put yourself out there with that question, you know, what do I have to do to make you feel comfortable enough to purchase a car from me? Or what do I have to do to make you feel comfortable enough to come down for this appointment and possibly purchase a car from me? There's not many things you could say, right? So that's something I like you to say to customers. What do I have to do to make you feel comfortable enough to come down today and purchase a car from me? You know, and just it requires a response. So that's something that you should probably put in your bag of tricks there, or your arsenal, or whatever. It's very important that we understand that we have to be honest. We have to be honest.
Yeah.
We have to have integrity. So when a customer asks us, you know, a question, we have to be accurate in what we're doing and how we do it.
Right.
When it comes down to your notes, when you put your notes in that CRM, you're giving your sales staff a roadmap to the sale. How to sell this guy a car is what you're putting down on that category in your CRM that says notes. Roadmap to the sale. And they're supposed to provide you with a counter so you can follow up. Customer comes down, you didn't buy a car. Why didn't you buy a car? So your job is this is how you sell them. And you have the right, and it's an accountability issue, to ask them, how come we didn't sell this guy a car? I gave you a roadmap to the sale.
Of course.
And their job is to put that down in writing in their CRM. Well, you know, why couldn't you sell him a car? We don't want to hear that the guy was a nice guy or he took a demo ride. We're not interested in that. We're interested in factual intel on what happened that guy or girl did not buy a car. What transpired that prevented that guy or a girl from purchasing a vehicle? Because if they came down here and they didn't buy a car, we have to take responsibility for that and put the onus on us to say, what did we do wrong that we couldn't sell that guy a car? Mm-hmm. It's almost like a football team or basketball team or whatever. If we didn't score is huge. Not if we did, because we're supposed to.
Right.
We're supposed to get a touchdown on this play. So if we didn't, that's a problem. So no victory laps for scoring, you know, just a real intensified what went wrong that we didn't achieve our goal. That's, you know, the inside out version of what we believe, or what I believe makes for a good BDC appointment setter. Mm-hmm. Again, shrinking that window is important. You know, 48, 72 hours, 24 hours. If you're not contacting that customer, somebody else is, that 500, you know what I'm saying? They're after that car buyer.